Both virtual and in-person learning in Buffalo Public Schools on hold for at least today while the district addresses a ransomware attack. Good evening, everyone. The district tonight working now to get thousands of students back online after a cyber attack on Friday. 7
Eyewitness News senior reporter Eileen Buckley is following the state of education in Buffalo Public Schools tonight.
We feel really heartbroken as an organization that there's been a criminal attack on our system and our faculty and children.
The ransomware attack on the Buffalo Public School system halted the return of another 5,000 students to in-person learning Monday, but it also shut down all remote learning for thousands of children.
We are so frustrated that this happens on the heels of such a careful, methodical planning process for a return to school.
The district issued this letter Sunday stating it is actively working with cybersecurity experts and that the district is making headway in restoring critical systems that support their primary function of teaching and learning. On Friday, the district's chief technology officer, Myra Burden, says they quickly worked to contain damage.
As a preventive measure, what we have done is disconnect our systems from internet communication.
The district says it was working Monday to pressure test system restoration.
This is a process that takes time because you have to pressure test each of these systems and basically hope that they've cleaned it all out and have good backups.
Arun Vishwanath is a cybersecurity expert and also a Buffalo school parent. The FBI is investigating, but the district says it does not know if any personal information was breached.
If you're a parent out there and you have a child who's using the school system, I think we're protected from that. And if you have any doubt, the first thing to do, go off the internet. Stops the attack right at its tracks.
The FBI estimates a ransom attack could cost between $100,000 and $300,000. But so far, the district has not been asked to pay.
Does a district actually pay that out to clear this up?
Is there value in paying? I would say no. I think we should all be backing up our data. We should all be trained to have good cyber hygiene. And I don't think we should pay a ransom.
I did reach out to the district for further comment, but a spokesperson said anything that they say beyond what has already been reported could jeopardize their efforts now and into the future as they try to resolve this crime against the district. In Buffalo, Eileen Buckley, 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, joining us live with in-depth analysis into this cyber attack is attorney Daniel Green. Dan is the head of incident response at the law firm Beckich. Dan, thanks for being with us tonight. All right, let's dive right into this. How does a ransomware attack happen? Let's start there.
Jeff, it's probably easiest to think of it just like an invasion of your home. The bad guy can figure out whether maybe there was a window that you meant to fix that was left open, or trick somebody into giving them a key. Here, the bad guys are just looking for a vulnerability to exploit somewhere in the digital network, or they may trick somebody into providing them the credentials they need in order to access the network and start wreaking havoc.
Well, this happened back on Friday for Buffalo Public Schools. How does an organization properly now respond to an attack like this and then, I guess, prevent it from happening again, Dan?
Yeah, you have to act very quickly with folks who know the space really well, and you need to start by containing and eradicating the threat while at the same time figuring out what those critical systems are that you want to have in place in order to ensure, or at least work to ensure, some level of business continuity. And at the same time, you're also looking for what are those traces and artifacts of what happened so you can identify the root cause and prevent it from happening again. So it's really a number of things need to be addressed in parallel very quickly and working with folks who know the space very well.
Broadly speaking, these attacks seem to be happening more and more frequently. Why is that?
Unfortunately, it's very big business. We expect that attacks are happening every 11 seconds. And right now, there are estimates that ransomware as an industry will top $20 billion this year. And that's up from $11 billion just a couple of years ago. Any thinking that this is a single individual somewhere in a basement who's able to accomplish those sort of numbers is mistaken. It's a very sophisticated industry, and it's a reason why there is now so much effort to make sure the appropriate safeguards are there to avoid a ransomware attack or respond effectively.
All right, Dan. Well, thank you for giving us some additional insight into the district's ransomware attack and what they're dealing with. This as we wait to hear more word from the district on whether or not they'll return to school in some capacity tomorrow. And in the interest of full disclosure tonight, we do want to let you know that Dan is Ashley's husband. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story both online and at WKBW.com, right here on the air as well, with the latest updates coming as soon as we get them tonight. Next this evening, in the wake of the pandemic and for the second year in a row, the Board of Regents has decided to not make Regents exams a requirement for high school graduation. State education officials also plan to scale back standardized assessments for grades 3 through 8. Most June Regents exams are canceled, as well as all August Regents exams. There will be some tests. We have a detailed explanation on all the changes. It's available right now for you tonight on WKBW.com.
Now to the race to vaccinate, and 1/5 of New York's population is now at least partially vaccinated. In New York, 22.5% of the total population has received at least one dose of the vaccine. 11.6% of all New Yorkers are fully vaccinated. And even closer to home, here's the percentage of the population in each county in western New York that has received at least the first dose of vaccine. The highest vaccination rate right now, 23.6% in Erie County, the lowest 16.4% in Orleans County. Thousands more New Yorkers will become eligible to take the COVID-19 vaccine this Wednesday. Government and nonprofit workers who interact with the public will soon be able to schedule a vaccine appointment at any county or state site. Public-facing service workers like janitors and cleaning staff will also be eligible.
Now, because of this expansion on the 17th, along with that came the direction to the local health departments that we can now vaccinate anyone who is eligible, which is a big relief on us. It's really been an administrative nightmare to try to keep all of your allocations separate and all of your clinics separate. And
an important reminder for you tonight, pharmacies are still limited in who they can vaccinate. They can vaccinate anyone aged 60 and up, as well as teachers.
Next tonight, while lawmakers continue to call for embattled Governor Andrew Cuomo to step down, voters apparently have a different opinion. In a poll released today by Siena College, 57% of people said they were happy with the way the governor has handled both the sexual harassment and nursing home allegations, while 32% said they weren't. And on the flip side, only 34% said they would vote for him if he runs again in 2022, while 52% say they would prefer someone else. Meantime, the governor's office is facing more and more questions after a new report claims the top advisor to the governor may have crossed ethical lines. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Ali Tui tonight taking a deeper dive to tell us more about Larry Schwartz.
It's a pleasure to be in Old Westbury today.
Governor Andrew Cuomo toured a mass vaccination site in Westbury, New York, Monday. The event listed on his public schedule indicated it was closed to the press because of COVID restrictions. The lack of availability Monday follows reports over the weekend that COVID-19 vaccine czar Larry Schwartz called county executives statewide in the last 2 weeks to gauge the loyalty of county executives to the embattled governor. The problem with the phone calls, as first reported in the Washington Post, some county executives felt the county's vaccine access depended on their response. In wake of the reports, New York Republican State Committee Chairman Nick Langworthy is calling on President Joe Biden to distribute vaccines directly to county governments.
This is an illegal, corrupt quid pro quo. It's downright disgusting that once again, New Yorkers' lives have been put at risk to protect this governor's political power.
Senate Republicans are also now calling on Washington to assume control of the state's vaccine distribution. Schwartz, appointed team leader for the vaccine rollout, is rarely a part of the governor's often daily briefings. Schwartz earned a bachelor's degree in political science from Binghamton University. He first joined the Cuomo administration in 2011 as a senior advisor, and from 2011 to 2015, he served as the governor's secretary, a position that holds substantial influence in the executive chamber. He left the administration in 2015. His vaccine czar appointment is voluntary. Here's what Cuomo had to say about him in December.
He's probably one of the most skilled government officials I've ever worked with. He ran the Surge and Flex program. the PPE shortage program the first time around, so he's going to come back and help.
Still, the accusations have some public health officials questioning whether Schwartz is qualified for the job.
Public health emergency response is core public health work. And that means that the public health professionals are the ones who should be leading the effort.
We asked both the governor's press office and the New York State Department of Health for information about Schwartz's role and qualifications related to the vaccine rollout. Neither office responded to our inquiries. Allie Tui, 7 Eyewitness News.
And this story happening right now in the town of Tonawanda. Firefighters are on the scene of this house fire on Orchard Drive in the town of Tonawanda. This is a 2-story home. You can see the heavy smoke there. We're working to get more information from fire crews tonight there, again, in the town of Tonawanda.
A Buffalo police officer is now facing charges for what prosecutors say was an off-duty domestic violence incident. Authorities say 33-year-old Irvin Gaiman pushed a woman to the ground at a home in Buffalo last week, then placed his feet on the victim's neck and thigh. Gaiman is charged with criminal obstruction of breathing. And a Buffalo father stands accused of killing his infant son. 37-year-old Reginald Jordan is charged with the 2019 murder of 6-month-old King Jordan. Authorities say the father shook the baby, causing blunt force injuries to his head and neck.
A Lancaster police officer is honored for a job well done. While on duty back on March 1st, Officer James Robinson Jr. noticed smoke coming out of this building on Broadway in Depew. Well, Officer Robinson went inside and helped evacuate the building. Last Friday, he was honored for his heroic efforts with a letter of commendation for his actions. Congratulations to Officer Robinson tonight. Still to come here tonight at 5, another inmate death at the Erie County Holding Center. And all new at 5:30, how this latest investigation could impact the race for Erie County Sheriff. But first, helping people by the hundreds, how one Western New York native is helping folks everywhere get signed up for a COVID vaccine.
We'll end up with a slower commute for our Tuesday with wintry precipitation, snow, and even some freezing rain. I'll have your 7 First Alert forecast.
You are watching 7 Eyewitness News at 5 with Jeff Russo, Ashley Rowe, and 7 First Alert meteorologist Autumn Lewandowski.
Welcome back. Here in Western New York, there have been a lot of challenges when it comes to trying to sign up for the COVID-19 vaccine.
And tonight, a Buffalo native now living in California is hoping to help you. Heidi Cancio is a teacher, but is not working during the pandemic. So when her friends and family needed vaccination appointments, she offered to help them. She was so successful, they started passing her contact information on to friends, and then friends of friends, and then friends of friends of friends.
How many people would you say that you've helped so far?
I don't want to overestimate, but I'm pretty confident I've booked over 100 people for appointments, which is crazy. And I have helped probably another 200 people by giving them tips.
7 Eyewitness News anchor Katie Moore sat down with Heidi to find out what she's learned booking all these appointments. She wants to pass her Buffalo strong spirit onto you.
If people are trying to get a vaccine appointment still, what are 3 tips that you would give them as they're searching for one?
The most important thing, I think, is to find support. You can find support by reaching out to, friends or family who might have more time on their hands or just more patience. Or you can reach out to, like I mentioned, Facebook groups. I think the next best thing to do is to find out when the appointments drop for the platforms that work best for you. CVS and Walgreens, for example, will drop in the morning around 6 or 7 a.m. Eastern time. I Am Eligible website drops appointments about every half hour at least. So if you sit down and you click constantly for an hour, maybe while you're watching a TV show, you're bound to get an appointment.
Heidi says to do that, first log into the system and confirm your consent. Then you can look at the providers around you. She says don't be fooled by the first message you get.
So when you go to the site and you know how it says no appointments available. Okay.
Yeah, don't listen to it.
Okay, tell me more.
It is not, there are appointments available, but it kind of does a reserve. It kind of holds appointments for a bit, and then it releases them all together. So when it says no appointments are available, it means like, hold on a second, I'm pulling things up for you. It'll come up, and they're adding new appointments all the time.
Would you keep refreshing that particular page?
Yep.
If I was to sit there and keep refreshing that page for half an hour, you think something would open up?
I promise you, if you did it for an hour, a half hour, something would happen. Yeah, for sure. And it wouldn't be just one. And my recommendation is not to take that first appointment that pops up, because everyone's going to click on it. You want to scroll down a little bit, and don't take time. If you are really okay with any time or day, don't look. Just scroll down a bit and click on something, because you just want to get it before someone else does.
How far out would you say you're booking appointments?
Yeah, I'm being super picky now because I've gotten so good. I'm not taking anything that's more than 2 weeks out for anyone.
And Heidi says even though she's thousands of miles away, she'll keep helping as many Western New Yorkers as she can.
I'll always love Buffalo, Buffalo at heart for sure. I can't wait until it's safe to travel and I can go back to Buffalo. I haven't felt so fulfilled as I do making these appointments. In fact, on Sunday, I'd gotten through my whole list and I had no one else to help, and I felt really sad. I don't know what to do with myself. And then I sent out a message and now I'm inundated again.
Katie Morse, 7 Eyewitness News.
What a ball of personality she is. Okay, so Heidi says if you're comfortable with this, write out all of your information, your name, your address, health insurance information into a Word document, so that way you can easily copy and paste it once you get through. Most importantly, this one, underline this one. There are lots of people out there willing to help, but never give out your social security number to anyone. You do not need that to book an appointment, and no one should be asking for it. If you want to contact Heidi, she has set up a phone number that you can call. It's 235-1601. She's working with one other woman to set up appointments, so if you call that number, they're willing to help you out.
You know, one of the problems a lot of people have had getting an appointment is that many have gotten canceled. Well, there's now a solution for that. HiDrB.com is a new website that connects vaccine sites with people waiting for the shots. And here's how it works. Sign up with your phone number and you'll get a text message when extra doses are available in your area. So far, more than 1.8 million people have signed up for this service. And Facebook now has a handful of new tools to help people get vaccinated. It's called the Coronavirus Information Center. The news just coming out today, and CEO Mark Zuckerberg explained you'll be able to check out when and where you can get vaccinated with a link to make an appointment. It'll also be on Instagram, and it may even expand to WhatsApp.
A very sunny day out there, but don't be fooled by that sunshine. It's cold out there. 7 First Alert meteorologist Autumn Lewandowski is tracking your forecast.
It has been a very nice day when you look at the sunshine, but when you are in the shade like myself right now, it feels a little bit chilly for sure. And with this cold air, it's going to come once again in the form of wintry precipitation. We are talking about it. We have a handful of days before we get to spring, and winter is gracing us with its presence. As we take a look at our map here, winter weather advisory, it's for southern Erie, Wyoming, Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Allegheny counties. This is beginning tomorrow morning and through the evening, a little bit earlier and a shorter time frame for northern Pennsylvania. Both for snow and ice, not a ton of either one of them, but the fact that we'll have it coming down and slickening things up is going to create some poor travel at times. Now, as we look at 7 Super Doppler, just high thin clouds that are working their way in. And what we have that is near Cleveland is what is going to approach through the overnight and be with us as we get into the morning drive. More so for the southern tier around 6 a.m., 7 to 9, reaching towards Buffalo and then into the afternoon and away from the lakeshore. We have that freezing rain, snow, and even some sleet. But the lakeshore communities in downtown Buffalo, all in the form of rain as we head throughout the afternoon. Our numbers, take a look at where we're headed for tonight into the middle 20s.